Hello and welcome to the character creation for Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines. This is something that I've been meaning to play for a while, and the announcement of a sequel has made it kind of go up on the list a little bit. So we're going to jump into this. I have some idea of what different characters can do, and I have some idea of what kind of character I want to play, but we're going to go through character creation and basically make one. So first thing, when you click New Game, you get two options. The first is you can answer a series of questions, or you can go to the character sheet. I think we're going to do both. So I'm going to do the series of questions, then we're going to see what kind of pre-build it gives us, and then we're going to go and go into the game. And the reason I want to do the questions, even though we're going to make the character ourselves, is because I want to know, I want to kind of show what type of character we're going to be playing. That's what I'm going to get going with. So I want to play kind of the traditional kind of Dracula style vampire. I want to play, someone who's kind of lofty, above everyone else a little bit, that kind of thing. A little bit of seduction going on there, that kind of vampire. So let's see what we got. So I would like to answer a series of questions. Male. You're in a convenience store looking through the beer freezer when all of a sudden a man walks in and pulls a gun on the cashier. Do you sneak up behind him, disarm him, and proceed to beat him senseless, or quietly make our way to the bathroom and lock ourselves in? I wish there was an in-between option, but let's think about it. I think that we would quite like to quietly make our way to the bathroom and lock ourselves in. Not the best start, but it's a little bit cowardly, but we'll go with that. A bouncer at the opening of an exclusive nightclub won't let you inside to party with all the beautiful people. Do you convince him that you work for the director, you know who, and you'll bring him with you next time? Hide out by the back exit, wait for someone to leave and then slip in undetected, or bribe him? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk our way past him. You were mugged last night. It wasn't life-threatening, but you do want to take some measures to make sure that if it happens again, you aren't defenseless. Do you sign up for martial arts class? Start carrying a knife and conceal it in your belt, or buy a gun? Martial arts, sure. While in a club, you spot your ex-roommate who skipped out after taking your stuff and leaving you for a stack of bills. He looks dead drunk. Do you grab him by the head and repeatedly bash his face into the bars, or call the cops? I'm gonna call the cops. So far, we're not sounding like a particularly deadly vampire, but we'll get to it, I'm sure. You're at a nightclub having a damned good time when you realize you're out of money. No cash, no fun. Do you seduce someone and have them pay for your drinks? I don't need to read the other options, yes. The world's a cruel and unforgiving place, but you've gotten by so far. Why? Well, when you're talented and as attractive as I am, the world is your plaything. Yeah, definitely. You've been embraced by the Toreador Clan. Known as artists, visionaries, and members of high society, Toreadors have a great connection with the mortal world through arts and entertainment. Masters of communication and social skills, Toreadors fit right in with the mortals who adore them. Yes, that's what I'm after. So, your vampire's attributes and abilities have now been determined and entered into its character sheet, which you will see next. After a tour of the character sheet, you may make changes to the character or simply play it as it is. Oh, fantastic. I'm happy that we're getting a tour because I do not know anything about how this system works. So, we have our attributes and abilities, which feats are derived from. Attributes are your inherent character traits and are broken down into three categories: physical, social, and mental. Abilities are things you learn and are also broken into three categories: talents, skills, and knowledges. Okay, so your attributes are in three things. So you got your physical attributes. You got all right. I see. So these aren't all. I was thinking like these were columns. Okay, so you got physical, social, mental, and then you got talent. So talents are things that you learn. Physical and social and mental are kind of things that you have. I guess like your appearance. You look good. You're not going to train your way to look much better. I guess a better one would be like strength, right? You may get strength over time through like bodybuilding and things, but you actively have to learn how to brawl or like to use that strength. I don't know if I've described that well, but basically you have to one of these is ones that you kind of naturally upgrade over time. One of these are ones that you specifically have to learn. Like You can become smarter just through living longer. You probably can't learn how to use a computer just by living longer. You have to actually learn it. Okay, I think I got how that's going on now. Members of the sophisticated Toreador Clan have the gift of gab, and so your strongest attribute is social, in which you have 2 points to spend. You have 1 point to spend in mental and no points in physical, your weakest attribute. As for abilities, being Toreador gives you an advantage in your verbal talents, and therefore you have 3 points to spend. You only have average abilities and knowledge and are weak in skill. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So basically, we have our strongest attribute, and then we have our weakest attribute. And then we have the middle one, and then that affects how many points we get in the lower things. Got it. Feats are the actions you perform in the game. Feats are derived from adding an attribute and an ability. An example would be the feat of lockpicking, which is derived from the attribute of dexterity and the ability of security. Hovering your mouse pointer over a feat will highlight the attribute and ability from which it's dependent. Okay, I've got it. So, say we're going on the computer one again. If you're going to hack something, you need to have some knowledge of computers and you need to have some intelligence, I would guess. So, that's how it works out. If you're very stupid but you know a lot about computers, you can do the same hack as if you were very intelligent but you don't know quite as much about computers. I get it. Okay. You are a member of the Toreador Clan. Oh, thank you. I had forgotten in the 2 seconds since you last told me. The vampire is most connected to the mortal world. Toreadors glide gracefully and effortlessly through human society, sampling the artistic delights of each age as a gourmand savors rare delicacies. Their disciplines are auspex, aura perception, celerity, vampiric speed, and presence, vampiric charisma. Okay. What are these? I kind of get charisma. I get speed. Aura perception? Well, hopefully it'll tell me. Nope. Okay. This is your humanity. 7 is the norm. 10 is saintly. And the lower you go, the closer to the beast you become. Also, the lower your humanity, the greater your chances of frenzying. When a vampire goes into frenzy, he loses all control and attacks any and all things around him. However, as you gain experience, you can spend experience points to increase your humanity. Okay, so if you go down and low and towards the beast, you might have to spend experience to keep yourself up at a sane level, but if you're using your experience like that, you're not spending it on abilities and things. So there may be choices that cause you to have to lower your humanity, which then means that later on you're going to be weaker for having done so. I guess is what it's getting at. Okay, this is where your Masquerade violations are displayed. The Masquerade is a code by which many vampires unlive. Nice touch. Anytime a vampire is seen doing a supernatural act by a mortal is considered a Masquerade violation. You have 5 chances, and each strike will have repercussions. If you commit 5 Masquerade violations, you will be dealt with harshly. Presumably, that's a game over, I would assume, but maybe not. This is where all the information on the things you are hovering is displayed. Thank you. The auto level on-off button is a toggle that allows you to decide whether you want the computer to allocate experience points you earn in the game amongst your attribute abilities, disciplines, or whether you wish to allocate them yourself. I think we'll allocate them ourselves. The research stats one allows us to clear out the current allocations. Cancel one allows you to return to your last point in the game without changing your character sheet. Once you're satisfied, click accept. Got it. So, we're actually going to head back here, because although we have an idea of what a Toreador is, we don't know what the other options were, and I want to kind of go through them, because I think it'll help us when we get into the game know what type of vampires are kind of going to be around. So, ours is Toreador, which is the artists and visionaries. Actually, there's more to it. Toreador are beautiful creatures, svelte and seductive, and move almost effortlessly through the society of the living. The Toreador's empathy is both a gift and a burden. All humanity shifts are doubled. Okay, so if we do an evil act, or I'm calling it evil act, if we do an act which isn't saintly, I guess, we're moving more into we would move very quickly into the point where we're going to get frenzied and go like into the kind of beast mode or whatever it is. Okay, interesting. Alright, let's have a look at some other ones. Tremere. Blood sorcerers born from mystic rituals and Diablera. The Tremere are the least trusted of the Camarilla clans. The ritual the Tremere used to transform from living mages into undying monsters stripped them of their magic arts. To compensate, the vampires of Clan Tremere developed thaumaturgy, the powerful discipline of blood magic. The clan guards its secrets jealously, and are the only kindred to wield this powerful discipline. The pursuit of arcane knowledge comes before all else, and reliance upon it has weakened the bloodline. Tremere can raise no physical attributes above 4 points. Ooh, that sounds vicious. Ventru. Oh, truly the upper echelons of society. Maybe we want to be one of these ones. The Ventru are seen as the honourable and virtuous leaders of the Camarilla. They wholeheartedly support the Masquerade, influencing the mortal and undead worlds to help them maintain the Masquerade, as well as garner support from themselves. Clan Ventru is an exclusive and powerful gathering of immortals, and even the lowliest initiate of Clan Ventru can expect special treatment in kindred society. This regal bloodline, however, gains no nourishment from the lowborn and thin-blooded. Ventru gain no blood from feeding on animals. Feeding on low-life humans, prostitutes, and homeless can cause Ventru to vomit. Interesting. That might be fun. I was thinking Toreador, but maybe I like all the kind of connected to the art stuff, but the Ventru could be cool as well, as in basically the leaders of the world here. Okay. The Bruya? Bruya are the passionate idealists and rebels, more likely to fight for their rights than write protest songs. In life, most Bruya sought social change, and in Undeath, most clan members commonly seek the creation of a vampiric utopia. As militant radicals, they are renowned for their combat skills, but also more likely to frenzy due to their hot-bloodedness, so to speak. Again, nice touch. They receive a +1 to their unarmed feat, but are penalized with a -2 to all frenzy checks due to their zealous nature. Okay, doesn't sound what we're going for here, but could be fun. Gangrel. That is an outfit of its time. That is definitely... It tells you if all you got was this screenshot, you could get exactly when this game was made. Okay, anyway. Gangrel are wild loners that are the most in tune with their beast within, allowing them to shapeshift into more beastly forms. Nomadic in nature, Gangrel care little about vampiric politics and prefer to dwell and hunt on the outskirts of society. Because of their animalistic nature, they receive a +5 to strength, stamina, and wits during frenzy. However, because of their inherent feral nature, Gangrel receive a -1 on all frenzy checks. Could be interesting, but they kind of seem like they're opting out of some of the point of the game, like the vampire politics. But anyway. Now we come into the two interesting ones that I deliberately left for last. Malkavian. Malkavians are known as lunatics because of their ability to hear voices of insight and subject others to their insanity through their discipline, determination. The world appears much different to the Malkavian than it does to the sane clans, though the extent of a Malkavian's madness depends on the individual. A blessing and a curse, a Malkavian's insanity will help or hinder them depending on how much they struggle against their nature. Malkavians start for +2 bonus to inspection. Now, the reason I'm not going for the Malkavian is because it seems like the kind of thing which would be best for like a second or a third playthrough. Basically, it replaces all the dialogue in the game that you can say with kind of gibberish, essentially. Which gets the point across, but it's kind of a little bit more gibberish. I also believe that you see different things as you go through, and it's kind of like, it seems like something you would get the benefit of if you play through the game and you already knew what was going to come up. You would kind of get a benefit of going, that's what he's referring to, or, it doesn't really seem to fit what I want to go for. And then Nosferatu. Hideous, skulking, and powerful. Even in a world of monsters, the Nosferatu stand out. They embrace twists and deforms their physical features, forcing them to seek sanctuary underground. Nosferatu are masters of the shadows. Due to their curse, Nosferatu have a seduction of 0 and can never raise it higher. And they hide their existence from common humans. Having shared the darkness with vermin for so long, the vampires of Clan Nosferatu are able to draw extra nourishment from rats. Again, seems like a kind of thing that you might want to do for a second or third playthrough, given that they kind of have... I believe that these ones have to stay out of sight most of the time of humans, so you don't have a lot of the social interactions, so yeah. So I'm between Toreador and Ventrue. And Ventrue seem like they could be a fun twist in that you get no blood from feeding on animals, and feeding on low-life humans, prostitutes, and homeless can cause Ventrue to vomit. So that seems like it could cause a lot of fun situations where we have to somehow find somebody who is of a high enough, high enough up the social chain to get blood. That could definitely lead to fun stuff. But Toreador seems like it might allow us to interact with more groups, because the Ventrue seem like people are going to naturally dislike them. I mean, the description does kind of describe as like they're exclusive and powerful. Like the exclusive bit I'm going for, it's kind of like they're gonna basically separate themselves and go like, no, we are above you. We're not going to interact with you low lives. Like imagining one of them talking to a Nosferatu, you'd get certain things. Well, Toreador, they seem like they're very chill. They value the high society mentality that the Camarilla reinforces. So they like the fact that it's high society, then they're not really worried about the laws and stuff. Yeah, let's go with one of those. Right. So we need a name. So Toreador, what's their name going to be? I have absolutely no idea for a name yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. So right now, we have no points in physical. We have 2 social to spend. So what kind of things am I looking to do? I think charisma's one I like, although manipulation sounds cool. So this one would measure your character's ability to exploit people and events. Okay, and then appearance. Physical attractiveness could be good as well. Let's be a little bit like physically attractive and a little bit charismatic. Oh, we get 3 points. Actually, let's just... Oh, no, we only get 2. Wait, do we? Or... Oh, no, I only get 2 points. Oh, right, that's saying we have 1 point to spend in the whole thing. I got it. Right. So mental, that affects our range or inspection skill. And we get 1 point to spend. So wits is our character's mind, which is defense as well. Defense and hacking. And ability to think on their feet. Intelligence, ability to learn, think, and remember. Okay, I like that. And perception is awareness of the surroundings for ranged combat and inspection feats. Ranged combat sounds interesting as well. I don't really feel like we're the intimidating type. Maybe I'll go perception. Yeah, ranged combat gives us at least a little bit into combat before we get down into this area. So we get 3 talents. And again, I don't think intimidation is our sort of thing. Subterfuge, ability to conceal their motives and deceive others. Potentially, yeah. Oh, and it's needed for the feat of seduction. Well, we gotta take it. Dodge, ability to avoid taking damage. I mean, that sounds like it'll be useful, as does Brawl. Yeah. I'm going to try and be quite generic with the character until I know exactly what kind of stuff we're going to need. In terms of skills, now this one's interesting. Firearms could be good, but I don't know how common firearms are going to be. You know what I'm meaning? Like, I don't know if they're going to be everywhere, which is why I'm tempted to go for melee. But we don't have anything else that leads into melee. Security. Of how locks and systems works, again, could be very useful. And then stealth. I don't think we need stealth. And between firearms and melee, let's take a point in melee and assume that we can take firearms later. And then knowledges. So computers, finance, so we can evaluate the market value of items. Needed for the haggle. We haven't taken any points in manipulation, so I don't know if we need to go with that. Investigation. Ability to notice minute or hidden details. I like that one. We'll take an investigation. And scholarships. Ability to gather information, debate, and learn new skills. Ooh, the fact it says learn new skills makes me think I should put a point in scholarship here. Yeah, let's go with that for just now. Then we get 1 discipline. So what's Auspex? Enhances your mental faculties and allows you to see the auras of those around you. All levels of Auspex cost 1 blood per activation. Auspex carries no risk of violating the Masquerade. Okay. So level 1 adds 1 point to wits, reveals the auras of living and undead within a short distance, lasts 20 seconds per activation. Okay. I don't know what the aura is going to do. Maybe it tells us whether they're living or undead? I don't know. We'd have thought that would be quick. We'd be able to notice that quickly. And level 2 gives us wit and perception, and reveals it within a moderate distance. Oh, maybe this allows us to basically wall hack. Maybe that's it. Yeah, wits and perception, great distance, tremendous distance. Okay, fine. Celerity. Preternatural speed. The world seems slow while you remain unaffected. All but the first level of celerity are obvious supernatural acts, and using them in safe areas is considered a violation of the Masquerade. So, we can move with 1 speed. So this one basically just makes us faster, or makes everything else slower. Okay, and then presence. The dread presence of Vampire can strike mortal fear into the hearts of their opponents, reduces enemies' effectiveness in combat. All levels of presence cost 1 blood. It carries no risk of violating the Masquerade. Interesting. And then we're going to take Auspex, and the reason I'm going to do it is it gives us 1 point to wits and perception. So that's effectively a stat up as well. So that seems like it would be useful to take right now. Yeah, let's go for that. Right, and we need a name. I'm trying to think of a good one, but nothing is coming to mind. I have no idea. Trevor? It's not really it doesn't sound suave and sophisticated. Ah, no, I got it. Perfect. Trevor. That is definitely it. Or at least it looks awful enough that it will do. Right, well, that's the end of character creation, and hopefully you enjoyed that. We should have the first episode up in about 8 minutes or so. So hopefully I'll see you all there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then. Goodbye.